Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on where you are around the world, and welcome to Freedom from Nigeria. This is the place where we give you all information about the NINAS Freedom Plan. And what is NINAS? NINAS is the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, which has been called the New South. So what exactly is the New South? The New South is the middle belt to the south. It's the middle belt. It's the southeast, the south-south, the southwest coming together to fight for their freedom. And some people are saying, well, you know, one Nigeria needs to stay one Nigeria. But the question is one Nigeria, the Nigeria that we have today, actually one Nigeria? So we're going to talk about that today, just for a little bit before we dive into the topic of today, which is we're going to be talking about George Orwell's book, Animal Farm. And in that book, it talks about where some animals are more equal than others. There's so much parallel between that story and what's going on in Nigeria today that we felt that was important that we bring that information to people today so that they really understand what's going on in Nigeria. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how cows are more equal than some humans in Nigeria. We've seen the headlines where Miiti Allah talked about the fact that it takes 100 humans to equal the value of one cow. Fact or fiction? You be the judge. And then we'll also be talking about how those people that are more equal than others, and we'll see where that plays out. Okay, there's some videos out there, headlines out there that we're going to be talking about so that you can make up your own minds and see if Animal Farm actually reflects what's going on in Nigeria today. It even talks about the political system, right? So before we dive into that, again, this is Freedom from Nigeria, where we'll talk about all things NINAS. We break down the story for you so that you get to understand what's actually going on, so that you can join in to see that we save our future, we save the future of our children. So before we get started, I always like to give out the numbers, and these are real numbers. These are not numbers that are being made up by Nigerians. These are numbers that the international community has compiled themselves. UNICEF talked about over 300,000 children that are being killed in the Northeast. That's their numbers. The United Nations have talked about where over 350,000 have been killed in the Northeast alone. Those are their numbers. They've also talked about the fact that there's over 400,000 that have been killed, most of them Christians and other indigenous and modest Muslims. I'm sure you've seen the headlines about what's happening with the Shiite Muslims. You've seen the headlines as to when the United States put Nigeria on the religious infringement list. Obviously, we also saw the news where they were delisted Nigeria, but we have not seen any evidence that would suggest that that needs to be delisted. I think we spoke about that last week, and we called on people to take action. I believe that the Secretary General, he did go to Nigeria. The Secretary Anthony Blinken did go to Nigeria, and I am certain that he's seeing the things are not as they may appear from the outside, and that's what we're here to do. Let's talk about the over 4 million that have been displaced from their land, and more being displaced. Do you know what it means when 4 million people are displaced from their land? That's called an invasion. And who's doing the displacing? The Fulani herdsmen are doing the displacing, right? Let's talk about those refugees who have fled Nigeria because of the Fulani herdsmen, supposedly herders-farmers conflict. That's 350,000, over 350,000. And these numbers are old. I'm sure that number is over 400,000 by now. But those are those who have fled their land, not part of the 4 million. These are the refugees. You want to think about the toll on the children that's in that number? What about those that have been raped? Who's speaking for them? Those that have been maimed, who's speaking for them? What about you? And the terror that you're feeling where you live. Doesn't matter where you live now in Nigeria, there's Fulani terror because of open grazing. What is open grazing? That is allowing cows. Do you understand? Cows that people eat. Open grazing means that the cows can go anywhere, destroy anything, and that is just okay. Cows, more equal than humans. You've seen tons of the videos where the cows are roaming and attack humans. You've seen the videos where the Fulani herdsmen are ripping off the harvest that the farmers have planted with their own money, just ripping it up and feeding their cows. There are tons of them out there. The outcry of these in the villages that you've seen of these women, older women, this is their livelihood that's been destroyed to feed cows. And you know what's worse about all of that? There is no repercussion to the Fulani herdsmen who are doing this. No one has paid any farmer for the destruction of their home, for the destruction of their farm, for being chased away from their land. No one has compensated them. No one has even seen to it, except for outside agencies and NGOs, that they have a proper place to live. And we've talked about this in October when we went through the victims of this supposedly Fulani herdsmen and herders, Fulani herdsmen, herders, and farmers conflict. And we have challenged investigative reporters around the world to investigate. How is it possible that the only farmers who are in this conflict are Christian, non-militant Muslim, or others? Is that really a herder-farmer conflict? We've challenged investigative reporters to take a look at the places where these conflicts are happening. Southern Kaduna, predominantly Christian. Middle Belt, predominantly Christian. Now Southeast, predominantly Christian. Southwest, predominantly Christian. What happened to Northern Kaduna? They don't have farms in Northern Kaduna? Or in the far north, there are no farms. So I'm calling on all the investigative journalists around the world, AJ, Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC. You all need to do your jobs. It's not just the sensation of people dying that should make the news. And it shouldn't be a onesie Tuesday. It should be one where you're calling for world action based on the real data that's on the ground. And the last data that I'm going to give out before we continue. Nigeria, the poverty capital of the world. 90 million people living in abject poverty. And in that number, easily over 45 million are children and the young people. Do you know what that does to a future? That's a gun to the brain. Because they don't have the right nutrition. They don't have education. They're wearing rags. You've seen the pictures. That's what's going on in Nigeria. So again, today we're going to be talking about Animal Farm, the Nigeria story, where cows are more equal than some humans. But first of all, let's answer the question. Is one Nigeria actually one Nigeria? And I'll give you a quick answer to that so that we can move on. Nigeria between 1960 and 1966 was a multi-nation one Nigeria. Multi-nation. How do I know this? Easy. There was the Western region that had their own leader. They had their own constitution separate from the constitution of the other regions. They had what is called self-governance, and they were autonomous. We have all seen the video from Amada Bello when he made the announcement to his people about the fact that he's so proud that they have gotten self-governance and autonomy, where they can do what they want for their people, and they have their own constitution for the northern region. Then there's the eastern region, and later they had the Midwest region. All had their own separate constitutions, all had charge of their own assets, and all were charged to do the best that they could for their people, give the benefits for their people. So let's fast forward to Nigeria today, that is still being called one Nigeria. So where are the nations in today's one Nigeria? I tell you that today's one Nigeria is not one Nigeria, but unitary Nigeria. Unitary meaning that those nations that existed, that have a right to exist, no longer exist. So we don't exist in one Nigeria, as a lot of people want to say, but in unitary Nigeria, where the rights of those nations have been taken away, their assets have been taken away into a federal system using the 1999 Constitution that was not made by the people, because who would be stupid enough to say that their own benefits is not enforceable? It's a stupid people. Who would say, oh, let's have, and this is where our topic begins, federal character, where governance, where all the institutions, the main institutions, reflect Nigeria, reflect the North, the Middle Belt, the Southeast, the South, the Southwest, and then turn around and say, oh, by the way, let's not enforce that. That's a stupid people indeed. So just based on those two facts alone, let's not even get into the fact that there are no plebiscites and no referendums, which is what you need to do a constitution, because it's the people that make the constitution. And the fact that this constitution is Military Decree 24, just Google it, you'll find it. It's not made by the people. So unitary Nigeria is standing on falsehood. Unitary Nigeria is not one Nigeria. So let's talk about federal character, because I think that's the subject of our topic today, right? Animal Farm talks about where the animals were rebelling against the humans, right? They indicated that the humans were not being fair, and the humans were keeping everything to themselves, so they rebelled. And I'm going to give you just a short version of it so that we can have a discussion around this. So they rebelled against the humans. But after that rebellion, something very bad happened. A certain group rose to the top and decided that they really wanted to preserve their brain, so that they needed all the good food, the drinks and everything, and everybody else barely had enough to survive, because see, they were the ones that were making the rules. So when they were asked, they said that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. So when you look at the Nigeria reality, you'll see something very similar. And we're going to take a look at some headlines that talk about what we are talking about. So just give me a minute. I'm going to pull that up, and so that we can start having a discussion about what's actually going on in Nigeria. So just give me a second here so I can share a screen so that we can start that discussion. So I'm sure you've seen variations of this discussion that says Northern elders reject power shift to the South, insist the North will continue in 2023. What exactly does that mean? In a democracy, it is not possible for one group to hold on to power in a democracy. So what exactly does this say about what's going on in Nigeria? You've seen the video. I'm not sure how many of you have seen the video. And in that video, it talks about the numbers. It said that the North has 170 million. Wrong addition, but let's go with it. They have 170 million, which comprise of 110 of the Northerners, 50 of the non-indigenous Fulanese. And this is important. They're non-indigenous. They're not Nigerians. They're not from the land. And compared to 60 million, apparently, from the Middle Belt, the Southeast, the South-South, and the Southwest. And so they have the numbers. Now, you see why it's important to have one Nigeria of multi-nations? Because the animals, the Eastern region, the Western region, the Midwest, and the Northern region came together and chased away the humans, the British colonists. They did that. They chased them away, and now they were ready to rejoice in their nations. But what happened? The nations got collapsed into unitary Nigeria. So I'm going to open it up for discussion, because this is going to be just an open discussion that we're going to talk about it. Where some humans are more equal than others. So if anyone wants to join the discussion, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and we can have a discussion about that. So the Northern elders said they're not going to relinquish. They are not going to relinquish the presidency. So how does that make all the people in Nigeria equal? I believe we're now in that situation where some humans are more equal than others. And how can they say that with such certainty? Even producing numbers, right? They produce numbers. But a democracy does not work that way, should not work that way, is not allowed to work that way, when one group has the lock on the presidency. And this is not just on the presidency. And again, we're talking about, in the Constitution, talks about federal character, meaning the government should reflect Nigeria. Let's forget about the fact that this is unitary. Let's just assume that piece of the Constitution is actually working. That piece of the Constitution is actually working. Where you will have a distribution, we're going to have a distribution of power, whether it's in the NNPC, whether it's in NTA, anything that has a national basis to it, you would have a distribution that reflects Nigeria. But that's not what we find. Unfortunately, that's not what we find. I see that Honorable Ogaraka has joined us. Ogaraka, I sent you some videos, and I'm not sure if you are set up to do videos. So I might send them to Jupe as well, so that we can show some of the videos that we have been talking about. So I do want to start first with the video where we're talking about the numbers. And Honorable is the third video that I sent to you.
Okay, let me try to upload it.
Yeah, I'm going to send it to Modepe as well, just in case, just so that we can keep moving, because that's, talks about the numbers. Modepe, I'll send that to you on WhatsApp. So again, the two things that we're talking about is Nigeria, Animal Farm. It is Animal Farm. Because we have a situation like in Animal Farm, they had the same problem. They got rid of the humans. Nigeria got rid of the British and became independent. Then they enjoyed a period where everything seemed to be great, where the nations, right? Where the nations were enjoying themselves. And they were getting used to the idea of what to do for their people. And then that changed drastically. And then they recognized that even though they had a political system, yes, all of you waited to go to 2023, they had a political system, but that political system was not going to give them what they were looking for. They actually found that out in Animal Farm, and George Orwell's Animal Farm. They realized that the political system was not going to give them what they were looking for. Look at Nigeria's political system. It has driven us steadily to where Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. It has driven us steadily to where we have a lot of insecurity that is being unanswered. We have Fulani herdsmen attacking every day. We've got bandits, and I think I have good news. I think they've finally decided that bandits are terrorists, but they haven't decided that Fulani herdsmen are the terrorists, even though they're the ones doing the most menace in Nigeria. It's not herder-farmer conflict, because not all farmers in Nigeria are Christians. And again, let's just make this demarcation. This is not a religious war on the one hand. This is a couple of things that's going on in Nigeria. We've got those that are invading, the non-indigenous Fulani are invading Nigeria. And I can say this with certainty because, guys, they are not indigenous to Nigeria. So why are they claiming all the land in Nigeria that supposedly belongs to them? Honorable, are you ready with that video?
Yes.
Okay, let's see.
I think I should have a right to share.
Yes. Go ahead, but give me a second. Let me just make sure that you do.
Not yet. Disabled participants.
Yeah, let me just make sure that we have you set up as a co-host, which will make it easy for you to do that. Okay, go ahead and why don't you go ahead and share your screen.
Let me go to it. 1 second, please, gentlemen.
Okay, and Stephen, you're welcome. I have made you co-host so you can speak. Okay, do you have the video set up?
Yeah, yes, sort of.
Okay, because we'll see something other than that. So, Motukwe, do you have that video? So maybe Honorable can get us the next video.
Yes, I do. I will need to switch to my phone because you sent it to my WhatsApp for me to be able to play.
Okay, that would be fine.
Yeah. So let me.
So Agarako, do you have? I mean, did you click on it so that it's playing like in your video? Because
I'm not confident. I'm not confident on what I should do.
Yeah, you need to click on the video.
Yes.
And then once it's once you've clicked on it to play, then you need to share your screen and then show that video. Exactly.
I'm doing that now.
Okay.
Which of them? The first one, second one, third one?
The third one. The third one is the one that's going to talk about the numbers.
That will balance our 4 years before we go into rotation.
Okay, then go ahead to share now.
Third time. No, we are not asking for third time. Nobody asked for third time. We will never ask for third time.
You have it?
Yes, we can hear it.
That was why we said politics is a game of number, and we know we have the numbers. We are 120 million population from the north. Then the Fulanis have 14 million in population, and if you put that together, that will give you 160 million. And you can, out of the approximately 210 million as in being envisaged, the population of Nigeria, when you take 160 million out of 210 million, what is the balance? About 70 million. I cannot see how 160 million. I can't see how 70 million will beat 160 million. So we are ready for it. We believe in democracy. We are democratic in nature. We know politics is a game of number. We know politics, leadership is by ballot box. Leadership is by PVC. Leadership is by election. And that was why we are calling our people to come out en masse and get their PVCs. The 120 million Northerners should get their PVC. The 40 million Fulanis should get their PVC. Put together 160 million. We will elect another president by 29th of May. By February next 2023, we should be going into election to elect a fresh northern president that will balance the remaining 4 years that North has. The Northern Consensus Movement has called on all 120 million Northerners and 40 million Fulanis that are eligible voters to ensure they mobilize towards 2023 general election and jettison on democratic leadership rotation in Nigeria.
Okay, let's go ahead. We can end there. We can end there.
Okay.
Yes, just go ahead and end the video and then stop sharing. And then go to stop sharing.
Thank you.
Okay. Comments on that? Is this a democracy? Tupe, you can go ahead and unmute Stephen. I guess, guys, you need to join in the conversation. Is this a democracy? Is this what democracy is about?
Jean, everyone, it was, I mean, it was like I was just listening to some nonsensical rambling of a child.
But it's
because it wasn't even, it makes no sense. That's what I'm saying. Even the numbers that he was quoting, if you just didn't even add up, you know. So it's like it just sounded like somebody who probably has.
But let's get past the numbers. Let's get to the concept of what he's talking about. Is that democracy? Is that the way that democracy should work in Nigeria?
It has no name. Do you understand what I cannot even define it. I don't even have a name to define what he described.
Exactly.
What he just described.
Exactly.
It's definitely not a democracy,
No.
but I don't even know what word to use to qualify it.
It's called apartheid. In case you're looking for the word, it's apartheid.
Okay.
Because
Apartheid.
it's apartheid where the system is set up so that
I
a
know what
particular
you're
group-
saying. I'm just saying
Exactly.
he doesn't even know how to describe the apartheid that you just talked about.
Exactly.
I mean,
Again,
so
those
what
are
that
people
was,
who
I
are
don't
more
even know what it
equal
was.
than others, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but definitely he was just trying to explain their, their agenda.
Yeah,
He was trying to explain their agenda, and so it came across as very, it was, to me, it was very incoherent. So I couldn't even
that
follow
is
his
the
thoughts.
reality in Nigeria. It might be incoherent and it might have the numbers wrong. And I see evangelists want to speak, but that is the reality. We showed the headlines before where the Northern elders were adamant that they're not going to give up that presidency.
Oh,
Evangelist, do you want to go ahead
without
and
question.
comment on that?
Yeah, after Dr. Dike, I just want to comment briefly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my own understanding, thank you very much for giving me the short opportunity to know I'm at work, but no sensible or reasonable person will listen to this kind of short video, and will not want to respond with one or few statements. What I see to that video, or my own response to that video, the one that I saw it was number one. That person is speaking and I can read his mind and the perspective they are speaking from. Number one, inferiority complex, number one. Number two, we are not dragging Nigeria with them. It's wise that, can everybody hear me? Because I see screen.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
I'm just putting it up so that people can understand what you're saying and what we're talking
I found
about.
that video as being a display of inferiority complex. Number one, nobody, especially the indigenous people of the southern Nigeria, is not dragging the presidency of Nigeria with you. Okay? If we cannot work together, live together, reason together maturely, intellectually, then let us break up. Let the southern indigenous people of Nigeria, the Yoruba, the Middle Belt, the Lower Congress, Niger, let them have their own self-determination, okay? That video is politically inclined, so let me be politically correct. We all know America as a country, presently with population of about 300. United States of America presently with a population of about 350 or about, and still growing. Hands down, everybody agree that there is strength in number. But then if it is not working for an entity, then it is not working. Fine, there is strength in number. Nigeria, we hear that we are about 210 million. Fine. These worthless Fulani, nonsensical speaking from this guy, worthless and useless. Put Fulani and
Let's just stick to
Hausa,
facts here.
northern people, to say that they are 170 million. Okay, I want to agree with him, hypothetically speaking now. The northern people, Hausa, Fulani, are 170 million. So the rest of the South, we are 50 million, right? Or 50, 70, 80.
Yeah,
fine,
40, 50.
Right, okay, let's put it at 50. Plus 170, 120. No, 220, 210, 220 million. So, yeah. Okay, you are bigger than us. Where does it reflect in the GDP, in the data of Nigeria? Let us be wise. That's one. Because when you are more, then everything's supposed to be more. So, is Nigeria working for you and I? Nigeria is not working for me, because if Nigeria is working for me, my hand should be up. I should be in the upper hand asking My country that is working for me should be a nation that is giving loan and borrowing other nation. Can we say that is the case of Nigeria now? Capital, no. Now, this guy,
if you can round up so that we can stick to.
I'm going to round up.
Yeah.
Now, you see, that video was specifically made to rattle the Southerners. And I'm going to tell you as a population professional expert, so to say, in a little way, that pronouncement concerning figure really rattled me. And I went to unravel it. Finally, sirs and mass, for those who are being us, is that Hausa Fulani, through this guy, unsubstantiated fact and proof, put themselves at 170 million. Okay, why are you afraid of being alone and let the South be alone? You are 170 million, then let your population work for you. That is all you need. No, you got 3 beautiful things working for you. You have 170 million population out of 220 Nigerians, as in the north. You have the largest area size of land in Nigeria. And presently, you have all the powers, weapons, and everything. You should be the one that is clamoring and agitating for self-determination because you have those 3 things working for you. Use it to your advantage, to your benefit, and let other people be. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Evangelist. Now let's talk again about, is this a democracy, right? Because if we're one country, but the political system is such that the far north, with their 40 million of non-indigenous Muslims, Fulani herdsmen, sorry, not Muslims, Fulani herdsmen, can dominate the presidency, dominate everything in the country. What does that say about being more equal than others? Topic of today. Ogarako, do you have a comment to make? Because I saw you chuckling earlier. Because if that is the way that the politics is skewed in Nigeria, so then where is it possible for the middle belt to south to become a president? Where is that possible? Ogarako, help us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Thank you, everybody, all the audience, those direct and indirect. The case with Nigeria is always a question of, I don't even know when to ascribe statement to people's opinion. Just like in every other scenario, somebody will come in and give you some information saying we said this. There has never been a body, even from the so-claimed North, saying that, yes, this represents us, this voice represents our opinion. Even though we play on some of these jokes where dissidents continue to make self-acclaimed leadership and make statements for people, nobody owns it, nobody owns it, directly or indirectly. It seems as if to say for the people. And that's one of the confusions we have in Nigeria today, not just from the North, but even from some of the areas. My good friend, the last speaker, has made it very clear that if you have the number, you should be the person to think of your own independence, unless you have any other true motive. You are dependent, you are insufficient, you are not sure of yourself. That's why you should see somebody to subjugate, either to sustain yourself. Unfortunately, it is not far from the fact, it is not far from the truth. The issue of trying to dominate issues, power, economic power, social power, political power in Nigeria has always been to, to siphon the opportunities, to siphon the economic benefits of what may be called the minority South. Unfortunately, this idea of minority is still also hypothetical because when you say North Central, what makes middle belt? What makes middle belt, or what do you call it? Middle belt and North Central. Why is it not South Central? What makes it? And they culturally, they're inclined to the North. That's another issue. And when you claim all these issues, how does it, how in a way, you prove that it is? When we talk of a NINAS territory, we know what NINAS territory represents. And this is part of what they claim as the so-called North. So I think we're facing a practical reality with the movement of NINAS and the ideas and projects of NINAS. What is important for people, unfortunately, the environment does not give people the liberty to make the assertions. However, what is important is for people to understand the project and the purpose and plans of NINAS, and this will definitely get us the realities of Nigeria, not those provocations.
Absolutely, but again, this is the reality, Ogarato. This is the reality in Nigeria. Because of the way that the numbers are skewed and the way that it is in the Constitution, you cannot have a South president. They're making the case of the apartheid that NINAS is talking about, that the North is more, right? It is more equal than the South. And so it is insisting that the power shift will not happen. So when is it going to happen? Their population, according to them, is 3 times that of the South. So when does the South get a turn? When does the South get a turn to have charge of their assets, protect their people, right? Because right now the South cannot protect their people. The Fulani herdsmen are killing, raping, maiming, banditing, kidnapping on a daily basis with no repercussions. And the South, how are they going to protect their people under this unitary Nigeria? And the reason why Nigeria had to be a one Nigeria, a multi-nation Nigeria, is to prevent this apartheid.
Jane, let me just come in now, because I mean, jokes apart, and let's just really be let's try and analyze this in a way that, you know, everyone can really follow. So when we really talk about apartheid, really, we're talking about the policy that is being used. You can have a unitary system and still not have an apartheid system. I mean, and still not have an apartheid policy system. So, but in this case, we actually have, and I'm going back to your emphasis about the type of government that is being run. So it's not a democracy, it's an oligarchy that is now superimposed by a apartheid policy system. So again, let's be very clear. First of all, right, if we are going to work together, or if we're going to be in a union, will the union be a unitary union? I don't think that the answer to that will be yes, because when we went into independence back then, when our fathers or the 3 regions came together, they did not negotiate a unitary system. Then secondly, a unitary government. Then secondly, even if we now go back to what we used to be, and I'm just saying hypothetically, the policy system cannot be in such a way that one region will then dominate the rest of the regions in what you now term as apartheid. So I just want to leave it there, but it's really very important that we understand, both the governing system and the policy that is being, run in the system adopted.
Right. Thank you very much. And I just wanted to kind of pull up because, history has been eliminated from the curriculum in Nigeria so that people really don't understand what we're talking about, right? When we talk about the fact that there were nations in Nigeria, they really cannot see it because they don't understand this. This is from 1965, and I just randomly, pulled one of the, and this here is talking about the regions. You've got the North, the West, the Midwest, the East. And yes, you see where they said that little white spot used to be part of Nigeria. And I guess in the negotiations, it was given to the Cameroon, but it's actually was supposed to be part of Nigeria. That's what Nigeria was supposed to be. But again, these were nations. They each had their separate constitutions. They each had their leaders. They were self-governing. They were autonomous. But what we have today is not this. So let's again, let's talk about these cows. Let's see what's happening with cows. If you can please get us the video to show just one video that shows, you know, kind of what's going on with farms and these cows.
Yes, give me a second. Yeah, I just switched to my
Okay, go ahead. So we're going to take a look to see, because one of the things that we're talking about today are more cows more equal than humans in Nigeria. We've talked about the fact that there are some people, the Northern Elders, and their definition of the North, and the fact that they have determined that they're going to dominate, that there is no way the South can gain a presidency because they have the numbers. Who? And they're calling it a democracy. Ah, shocker. That's not what a democracy is.
So you want me to share my screen? The one that
Yes, just give me a second here. Let me do yeah, just give me a second here.
Mhm.
Let me do a stop share. I'm using two computers today. Okay. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is the fact that the Northern Elders have made the case. They've made the case that NINAS has been talking about, that there is apartheid in Nigeria because some are more equal than others. The North is more equal than others. Now let's look at the cows. Are they more equal than humans?
Can you see my screen?
You can see your screen. This is where the cows and their, this is what's happening to a farm. In this case, actually, I think this is the Nigerian government in this one that is cutting down the farms? I think those are men in uniform. These are men in uniform cutting down the farm. Okay, these are men in uniform cutting down the farm. Let me take a quick look and see the ones where where we have the let's see, where we have the cows actually doing this. In this case, and I've actually forgotten about this, the fact that we actually do have the situation, where the Nigerian government and their soldiers actually went and destroyed some farms. That's actually, I actually had forgotten about this. This is actually very chilling for me, just very disturbing. It is very disturbing because what is going on in Nigeria right now, in unitary Nigeria, is starvation. So much farms have been taken over by Fulani herdsmen that the people in Nigeria are starving.
It's intentional.
9 million are in immediate danger. 9 million in immediate danger. 9 million out of the 90 million that are living on pennies a month, while the senators are $600,000 plus a year, right?
About $50,000 a month.
Yeah,
$50,000 a month.
this is chilling to me. Okay, but then let's talk about the cows. Open grazing. That's the topic of the cows, right? The video that you saw with the soldiers, we've got lots of other videos, and I do need to find one. I think Modupe, you might have one in the.
Yeah, I do.
You can pull that up. I thought this was one of them.
Yeah.
But again, this is actually even worse. This is actually even worse because the ICC had talked about the fact that the Nigerian security forces have committed crimes against humanity that rises to the level of war crimes, and you see them destroying food at a time where people are starving. They're destroying food. This is just I don't have words, and you know I have lots of words. I'm speechless. But while Modupe is bringing that on, let's talk about open grazing. Open grazing has been very contentious, incredibly contentious. And we have seen, and you know, a lot of you have seen what's going on in Benue State, because Benue State is in the middle belt. It's in the middle belt. And the governor there has drawn a line in the sand that he will not allow these cows to destroy his people. Because guess what? People are being killed, K-I-L-L-E-D, killed, so that the Fulani herdsmen can take the land for cows. I'm just letting that sink in. People in Benue State are being killed. They're dead at the hands of Fulani herdsmen so that cows can live, supposedly, even though we know that is a lie, but let's just go with that. You kill humans. You burn their homes. You burn their land. You chase them from their land so that you can take their land for free and raise cattle? Where in the world does this happen? I'm asking a literal question, people. I see Ngozi has joined us.
I found the video. So when you're ready.
Ngozi, I see you've joined us. Welcome. Today we're talking about Nigeria, the animal farm story, the real animal farm story. Animal Farm was written by George Orwell. And we find so much parallel between what's going on in Animal Farm and what is Nigeria today. We see where cows are more equal than humans. Northerners are more equal than Southerners because they have a lock on the presidency because they've got the numbers. And by the way, Northerners, that's not democracy. That's apartheid. So just in case, you know.
I found the video.
So, okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And then when we come back, and guys, we're gonna let you talk a little bit on what we're talking about today, Animal Farm, the Nigeria story. Go ahead, Modupe.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, we can see that. Mm-hmm.
There we have it. This, guys, is a farm. This farm was planted by the farmer with the farmer's own money. The money from this farm is supposed to feed the farmer and provide food for other Nigerians to eat. But here you see, look at the number of cows. And by the way, where did we need so much cows in Nigeria to survive? That we're going to destroy the main food supply. I am pretty sure that we cannot exist on beef alone. I know in the Bible it said that man cannot live by bread alone, but in this case, apparently we're going to live by beef alone. These are Trojan cows. If you remember the story of Troy, these are Trojan cows. Ngozi, welcome to the discussion. Now,
Thank you.
What's your, I'm not sure if you saw the information when we pulled up where the Northern elders are saying that the North inherited the leadership. Mm-hmm. And they said they had the numbers to keep the presidency. And they said they are rejecting the power shift to the South. And then we see what's going on with the cows. Comments.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody. You're absolutely correct. These numbers has been the game that has been played for a long time. So those that don't really know what's going on, they will always say the numbers. They have the numbers, mm-hmm. and they have the numbers. They have the numbers. There's so many people over there. They have the numbers, but then what are the numbers there for? The people that made this number, because it's a systemic thing. The numbers didn't just become what it is today. It has been a systemic thing to make sure the numbers are there. And what is the reason for that number? That is what we have to ask ourselves. What is the reason for those numbers? And who has been working for these numbers to be there? And what is the reason for that? So the numbers has been there just to continue to hold on to power, especially the presidency. Who are those doing this systematically over the past, since we had our independence, let's say over the past 50, 60 years, that systemic thing has always been there. So the numbers didn't just come up tonight. The numbers are there so that during elections, they're going to use those numbers. But the question is the numbers breaking Nigeria, or is the numbers putting Nigeria together? So that is what we have to ask those people that have been boasting about the numbers in court. Those numbers, is it breaking Nigeria as it is today, or is it putting Nigeria together? So if they can answer that question, then I think we can have a way to forge forward, to forge ahead. But what we are seeing today is that the numbers, which has been systematically planned over the years to help certain class win election in Nigeria, especially the presidential, has become a problem for every Nigerian. Nigerians right now, everybody is waking up to say, no, we cannot go by that anymore because it has been a systemic thing. So when it's been systemically planned over the years, to make sure that a certain people, certain culture, certain group, tribe remain in power, then it comes to a time when other people that are part of Nigeria are going to say, no, you can't continue doing this. So it's left for them to figure out if this number is going to be used to destroy the country, or do you start looking at equity, fairness, justice, if you think you want this country to be together. So that is what we are looking
Absolutely.
at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I mean, when we talk about, I mean, like when we went into independence, guys, let's just kind of focus on this topic, okay? When we went into independence, there was a reason why it was multinational. Because you don't want the smaller groups to be overwhelmed by the larger groups, right? That's why the groups were separated into the regions, and they were self-governing and autonomous for this very reason. Now, Nigeria was collapsed into unitary, and we see this playing out. It's apartheid. Were you in the South, and I'm talking to all of you presidential aspirants, you have no chance. You don't have a chance. This is not democracy. This is something else other than democracy. And it's imperative.
Yeah.
It is imperative that the nations need to re-emerge and need to be restored. So NINAS is about the restoration. And the reason we're having these discussions is so that our people will gain the knowledge, because knowledge is power and power is freedom. They need to gain the knowledge of what's being taken from them. Stephen, I see that you're ready to give us engage in the discussion. Please help us here.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Ms. Ngozi, good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
I've followed a spirited discussion, most recently with Ms. Ngozi's analysis of the numbers. And as often as we discuss this, let's look beyond just the numbers, just the atrocities. What is the driving force behind all these events in the so-called Nigerian experience? It's the Future Jallow Manifesto. The atrocities did not come because some kidnappers or herdsmen just came out of nowhere. No, Ahmadu Bello already decided that Nigeria is their country and they need to do any and everything to get rid of the conquered people. Okay, it's not that one person is greater than the other. No, any and everything that has been happening since then is just a tool that is being used to accomplish all the tenets of those Future Jallow Manifesto. When Ngozi was talking about the numbers, I was thinking, now the numbers. First of all, are those numbers valid and accurate? What do those numbers represent? Do those numbers represent the indigenous people of Nigeria, or do those numbers represent the imported vagrants from other countries? Or worse still, do they represent the number of cows that are being used to destroy the farms? Jean mentioned about the cows destroying the farms. It's not that they are on a destructive path. No, it's just another tool to fulfill the Futajalon Manifesto, which is to destroy the food supply of the conquered people, just so that they can be subservient to the Fulanis. So my whole point is to continue to bring into our consciousness that all these atrocities, all these doctored numbers that we are coming across, that they shouldn't surprise us if we keep in our minds the reason they're happening. And the reason they're happening is the reason to motivate us to get out of that contraption. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much with that. Because again, guys, we keep going back to these numbers, okay? But it's not just the numbers. Guys, look at the concept behind the numbers.
Jen?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to add to, the discussions about the numbers. Listen, the numbers, the reason why those numbers exist or why they cook up, first of all, they are grossly, yes, I know we have the population, in a way, I mean, they have the population according to what they, but let's talk about the population, the numbers for a minute. First of all, those numbers are grossly, exaggerated. And when they talk about, oh, we have so many, I mean, this many people in the north, you know what they're doing? They're actually pulling the middle belt together with them to make up that number. If we really think about it, when we come down to the cold hard facts, right? The Fulanis are not more than 4 million or 5 million. They are the minority. They really are the minority, but they want to pull the other and say, "Oh yeah, we Hausa Fulanis." They pull the Hausas in, as if they have the number. They don't have the number. It's actually, I mean, it's a fallacy. They just put it out there to make it look that they have those. They don't. It's because they. If you look at the northeast, which is the Kanuri and up. They have decimated those places. If you look at all of the Hausa regions, they have killed so many of those people. But then they will come out and speak as if, oh, we are the same, like we are all one. They are not one. It's all lies. That's number one. Number two, right? When we even talk about land, yes, they have the land, but think about it. So the fact that they have that mass, I mean, that huge amount of land does not mean that every area of the land is occupied or I mean, have occupants, right? Think about it. If you look at the southern part of the country, we have a lot of the green spaces. We have the waters, So how then can you tell me that a lot of people, and this has been said many times, that this question has been asked many times, that how would you have, I mean, how would you, or does it make sense to say a huge number of people live in the desert, and then we have less people live in the coastal region where there's water, where there's green space, where there is I mean, fertile land. So you want to tell me there are fewer people there? And then where you have, the heat, and you have the, the desert, you have desert. It makes absolutely no sense. So they're using that number to kind of, push their false narratives. They are all false narratives, and the numbers are grossly exaggerated.
But again, the reality in Nigeria is that that's how the numbers come out.
I know.
Exactly. So whether
To
they're
you and me,
real
that's what they
or
want us to
made
believe.
up,
Yeah.
the reality is every election, those numbers hold. Okay. So now let's talk about something that Stephen talked about. Stephen, thank you for that analysis. He talked about, and Motupe, please get ready the video that has I think it's the Bauchi governor talking about the Fulanese, because he said, what's in those numbers? Are we talking about cows and non-indigenous Nigerians? That's the first video that would have come across to you. That's what he's asking the question on, right? Is it cows? Well, he talked about 40 million Fulanese. We know that Fulanese are not from the land called on which Nigeria is sitting on. Go back as far as you want. The first time they are visitors to the ancestral lands of the indigenous. Visitors. Okay. And now there is an actual program underway called Ruga, an open grazing, and the mass movement of Fulani from all over West Africa and beyond into Nigeria. Modupe, whenever you're ready, let's listen to Bauchi Governor as to how he is justifying that every Fulani should come to Nigeria.
I'll let you know when it's ready.
Right, they should come in, and not just should they come in, we should use Nigerian money to settle them. Are you guys listening? We're going to use Nigerian money, the little bit that's left, right, for the starving masses. We're not going to take that and use it to settle the Fulanese coming from outside of Nigeria. And let's just, again, let me make it clear. United Nations, you're aware of this. Fulani do not originate in Nigeria. US, you know this. British, you know this. They are visitors. And so, by right, what is happening now is an invasion. Using the money coming from the indigenous Nigerians. That's what's going on. So let's not play around, right? Because Juba made a really good point, right? Because they say the norm. But the person who is speaking is Fulani. And they call themselves Northern Elders. Look at the makeup of the Northern Elders. You will find Fulanese. Chingozi's point as well. And the quote that I pulled up from Amanda Bela, maybe I should bring it up so that we can read it while we're waiting for that video. So let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. So Stephen, you can read it for us. So just give me a moment. Let me pull up that, because that just tells you what's going on. So just give me a minute. And then we will, of course, take a look at what is going on with the Fulanese streaming into Nigeria. Stephen, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that. It's a systemic thing. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, so I just wanted to see that Stephen or Ngozi, whoever can see it better, if you can read it so that it is clear what we're talking about. And Modupe, do let us know once that video is ready. Go ahead.
It says the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather, Uthman Dan Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, and never allow them to have control over their future. Amadu Bello.
This is a real quote.
And that's why they are passing on from child to their grandchildren, to their great-grandchildren. Even some of them that are occupying positions of authority in Nigeria today, they're all fighting towards the same message. So I don't know how long this.
Absolutely.
So James, the video is ready. I'm sorry, the video is ready.
Okay, let's go, because today we are going to end in one and a half hours. This has been a great discussion, guys, because these are things that our people need to know. And next week, we will continue this discussion, but we will be looking at actual positions in Nigeria. But have a listen to this. The piece that we want to talk about. And if you can stop sharing. Guys, are you shocked as I'm shocked when I first saw this?
I'm sick.
I saw your face. Yeah.
Dumbfounded. I mean, I'm dumbfounded. I don't even know what to say.
This video needs to go viral, people. You know, we're talking about these things, not just so that we talk about it. We're showing you things that you need to share. You need to share to indigenous Nigeria so they understand what's going on. They're going to beg these people for us to use our money, Nigeria money. I'm indigenous Nigerian, to settle them in Nigeria. So Stephen, you're talking about 40 million where they're coming from, cows and Fulani. Well, here it is. There are your numbers, because that's the target that they have, is to bring in 40 million into Nigeria and call them Nigerians. Are you listening, Nigerians? This is a call to all indigenous Nigerians. I don't have anything against Fulani herdsmen, but if you come into somebody else's country and you're killing, raping, maiming, banditry, kidnapping, you need to leave. If you don't come in peace, you must leave. And the federal government, the state governments must take a stand to protect the indigenes. Why haven't we seen prosecution? Where is the prosecution? This is going on every day. They're destroying farms. They're killing. Miyetti Allah is the organization that these Fulani herdsmen belong to. And Miyetti Allah is wielding power in Nigeria. Wielding power in Nigeria. When their members are doing reprisals to the extent that 4 million people displaced from their land, whose land is it?
But reprisal to who? Who did something to them?
Yeah, let me let somebody else.
I'm sorry. Yeah, just 1 second. And I'll let Mr. Faleti please indulge me for a minute, sir. But reprisal to who? Who did something to them?
Reprisal to the owners of the land. They're reprising because you know the indigenes own the land. That's the reprisal. Because where are the hundreds of thousands of Fulanis that have been killed? Where are they? Where are they?
Sorry, Mr. Faleti.
And why are they destroying people's farms? This is livelihood. There's starvation, and nobody says anything about that. The government issued a request to the police to publish the list, and I keep saying this because I'm waiting for that list, to publish the hundreds of thousands of Fulanis that have been prosecuted through the Nigerian system because of this destruction, and we haven't seen any. Oh, and by the way, let's touch this subject before we go on. AK-47s are used to protect cattle while humans are being laid to waste with those same AK-47. What's wrong with that picture? Cows more equal than humans. That's the topic of today. AK-47s land to air missiles to take down Nigerian planes. That's used to protect cows is the narrative that the Nigerian government is giving to the world.
Yeah. Mr. Faleti, okay, I wanted to chip in, but I'll wait for
go ahead
Faleti.
to chip in. He is dumbfounded as the rest of us. I mean,
you're
come
right,
on, guys. If this was not real, we would laugh about it, but this is real. We're not making this up. You heard the man.
Yes,
Okay.
I saw
And
the
we haven't
interview
even
initially.
gone to, I mean, we've got other videos. Remember, Dupe, we've got the video where the Sakapo leader was talking about how they took hectares of land and are building, modern day wall, who knows what, while the indigents that own that land don't have a place to stay. There's even worse, people. And that's why this program is so important. And we need more people holding these programs so that a lot more of our people will understand what's going on and the world will understand what's going on. I mean, we're not making this up. This is reality on the ground. Bauchi governor.
Yeah.
This is the Bauchi governor telling us that they're begging the Fulanis to come in to take our money when our people are starving to death.
So that will show you the decadence and okay, sorry, I thought I muted myself. So that will show the decadence and how broken the system, the entity called Nigeria is. And when you see different groups of people, different cultures, different tribes trying to do whatever they got to do to fight for, to agitate for their freedom, then we will now see where they are coming from, because there's just simply no solution to this madness going on in Nigeria. There's no solution. It will never stop. So while some people are trying to see how we can put together this entity called Nigeria, you now see the plans just by the Bauchi state governor. You see the plans he is executing. They're already executing these plans. It's not as if it's in the formative or planning stage. So it's already been executed in one form or the other. And if you listen to, and this goes hand in hand with the current realities on ground and what is happening in Nigeria today. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? The Malami declared the bandits as terrorists. I'm sure all of you have read it. And some of us are asking, this is something that most Nigerians have been requesting for almost the past 12 months, over a year, almost 2 years, that the federal government has to declare these bandits as terrorists. He refused to do that, but that happened 2 days ago. And let me tell you what happened. It didn't happen because Buhari and Malami just realized they have to declare them. It happened because of the pressure from Nigerians. It happened because Nigerians are tired and they know that we are heading to full-blown disaster. So those that talk to them will be like, hey, let's do this because that might help. But after he said that, and part of the reason is because, I mean, the Toscano jet they sent to Nigeria, they are meant to be used to fight terrorists. Now you have the bandits that are almost doing more than the terrorists, and we're not using the Toscano jets and stuff on them. They are not being treated as terrorists, so they become brazen, they become more powerful. They are taking over. They're taking over. In fact, almost the northern part of Nigeria is gone. Because if you read the comment by the police department, the release they sent out a few days ago, for security reasons, for Nigerians, they told Nigerians, do not go to any part of the Northeast or Northwest. It is in that police report. Nigerian National Police report. Imagine American Police Department telling Americans, do not go to South Carolina and North Carolina. That is something like that. Do not go to Northwestern or northeastern Nigeria from the country's police department. That shows you that in one way or the other, that part of the country has been surrendered to the terrorists. So when the government says that they've declared the bandits as terrorists, now they'll have to use the full force of the law to fight these people. Some are asking, is it late? You saw what happened in Abuja Kaduna Road? They've taken over. And then that's the question. This is a systemic thing. How did Nigeria get to this point? It didn't happen overnight. They knew what they were doing. The numbers, they knew they needed the numbers. So the numbers are in Nigeria right now. The numbers are there in the Northeast, in the Northwest. But those numbers that are there right now may not be used for what they wanted the numbers to use for. So we are really in a very, very, very big mess. And whether they say they've declared them bandits or not, the actions and the subsequent killings is what we're going to be looking for to know that they're really serious. If we're not seeing the killings of these bandits on Abuja Kaduna Highway, all these bandits have taken over the Northwest and the Northeastern Nigeria. If they are not decimated, then this calling the bandits as terrorists is just a flimsy systemic thing that is ongoing. Thank you.
Ms. Ngozi, please, may I also add that Malami's declaration had no genuine intent in it. He just made that declaration as a matter of a political expediency at this point in time.
Yeah.
See, because it's the same Malami in cahoots with Gumi that have been sponsoring and financing the same bandits. You may recall not long ago, they told us not to call them bandits. But of course, they refuse all along to call them bandits because they have to placate the cartel that also finances the bandit, the Mietiala. So they had to placate the Mietiala. So therefore they couldn't declare them bandits. But now that that fool has come out to say that we have the numbers. So we have the numbers, he's saying, well, now we have the numbers. Now, because we have the numbers now it is politically expedient for us to declare those herdsmen as bandits, even though we are not going to aggressively pursue them. So please don't hold your breath on them aggressively pursuing them.
Yes.
No, don't.
Yes, and you know that if you remember, Stephen, what was it? Was it the end of last year or beginning of this year that Buhari said, shoot on sight any Fulani herdsman that you see carrying AK-47? Not a single one has been shot yet.
Yes, Jane.
Why did he not say, if he was not being disingenuous, why did he not say that all Fulani herdsmen must put down their weapons? Why is the Nigerian government not taking the weapons like they took it from the indigenous Nigerians? They have taken weapons, all weapons from the indigenous Nigerians. Why have they not declared that any Fulani herdsman found with a weapon, right, must be disarmed? And if not, they must go to jail for life. Why has that not been called on out? Why have they not condemned the Fulani herdsmen, the bandits, the kidnappers? Why is there no condemnation from this Buhari government?
And Jane, did you hear what Gumi said recently after they've supposedly declared the terrorists as bandits? Then Gumi now came out to say that declaring them, the bandit, as terrorists will worsen the case in Nigeria. It will not change anything. It will not stop the aggression. And
then he went on, because I think he actually went on to say that it will end Nigeria.
Exactly.
We're talking about non-indigenous people. Visitors are being given this accord, given Nigeria money, while those in the IDP camps that are being displaced by this.
Yeah. So you can see,
I mean, what are we going to call them? Murderers? Yeah. Terrorists?
You can see it's a game.
Lawbreakers?
It's a game plan, because if you listen to what Gumi was saying, he said that Buhari, when he declared IPOB as a terrorist group, the international body refused to apply the necessary sanctions, and they apply to show you that these people, they are very, very wicked and mean, and they've been planning. So when Buhari declared IPOB as terrorists, the game plan, based on what Gumi said, is that once you're an IPOB, you will not be allowed to travel. They will seize your passport. You will not, they will arrest you wherever they see you. So Gumi now was saying that Buhari declaring the bandit as terrorists, how can you compare the bandits, what they are doing brazenly in the whole country, in the northern Nigeria? So he said that even though Buhari has declared IPOB as a terrorist, the international body have refused to declare IPOB as a terrorist. They still travel everywhere they want. They are still very free and all that. So he's trying to compare IPOB and the bandits. So what he's telling them is that
the Fulani herdsmen.
Exactly.
Bandits are people that you can't see. Fulani herdsmen have been killing for what? Over 10 years. We know where they are. We know who they belong to. Miiti Allah. Why are they not declared bandits? I mean, why are they not declared terrorists?
It's the same thing. That is the apply.
400,000 people that they've killed more than Boko Haram.
Please excuse me, one quick question for my clarity. We've made several references to Buhari the last few seconds. I just want to be clear, which Buhari are we talking about? Is it the dead one or the living impostor that they've been deceiving us with for the last few years?
Okay, we're not going to go into that. We're just going to talk about the one that is there, or whichever one that they bring up on any given day, because I've seen so many faces, I've lost count, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I have seen so many faces that I've lost count.
Okay, very well.
Well, we're talking about whoever they bring out as Buhari.
Okay.
Whoever they bring out as Buhari. The fact is, whoever that Buhari is of Fulani descent, and only focus on the benefits for the Fulani people, as you saw the Fulani man, the governor from Bauchi. He's a Fulani man himself, non-indigenous. They wake up Nigeria. This is how they took down Lebanon. They brought in all these people, put them in government, and they took down Lebanon. That's what's going on here. And if you guys haven't seen it, you need to watch the Lebanon video. Okay, you can go to www.ffn.org. Okay, that NINASFFN.org, NINASFFN.org, Steps to Our Freedom. You find the video there, the Lebanon story. When you look at that story, you would really understand what's going on in Nigeria. Because look at who is leading in the north. Just take a look at who are the governors, who are the senators. Look at their origin. I'm prepared to be shocked. Everybody needs to do that. And we have a statistics team, and that's part of the things that we're going to be taking a look at so that we can share with the people and the international community what reality is. These are non-indigenous people who are invading the land. This is an invasion. It's a jihad to Islamize. That's another agenda. But it is an invasion to take the land. It is not Christians against Muslims, because I've got, Muslims who are NINAS on this platform and on all our other platforms. We're not talking about moderate Muslims, because moderate Muslims are also being targeted. They were targeted in the north. The killing started with the indigenous northerners. That's where the killing started. It started way back with Uthman Danfodio, if you guys recall. And the Middle Belt refused to let them dip the Quran into the ocean. That's not the way to dip the Quran into the ocean. You should let everyone practice their religion. You shouldn't be killing people or trying to make them slaves. If your religion is superior, I'm not going to join your religion because you are murderers. Why would I join a murdering religion? Why? There is no God that will tell you to go and murder somebody else. If he does, tell him to go to hell.
If I may just chime in real quick, Jean, I also want us to know that these people who are speaking of this, they're speaking of the religion, asking them to do this. These are people who are using they are like I'll say it's not, they are interpreting what is not, what the religion didn't ask them to do. If I want to oppress you, I will find a reason, and I'll say this is reason why I'm oppressing you. So I just want to say, as a Muslim, I just want to say that Islam never asked anyone to go and kill other people for their beliefs. In fact, it was, the Prophet Muhammad said that you cannot compel anybody to practice to practice a specific religion. People should have to choose. People are free to choose their religion. So these people are just, they are the radicalists that are twisting what is in that, what is in the pillars of Islam to suit their own false narratives. Absolutely. So I just want to put it out there, because we really also do need to educate ourselves. There are lots of Muslims in Yoruba land as well. And I believe Islam was already even being practiced in Yoruba land before we joined Nigeria and all of this other stuff. And so, so that we are not arguing, or we are not disagreeing with our brothers and sisters. We are on the same page. Believe me, we are on the same page. Right. These people are foreign to our land, and what they want to do is to land grab, like we always say. And so, the governor of Bauchi State made it so glaring. It actually, spelled it out.
That is a video that every indigenous Nigerian must
the agenda.
see. Every single one.
Agenda.
Every single one.
To say that, the Fulani person is not, it's a global person. It's a global citizen. And so can just choose. Oh, I want to be a Nigerian today. Exactly. Oh, no, I want to be a Gambian tomorrow.
And they get Nigerian money to settle them.
To beg them to now be Nigerians.
Thank you.
What about the people who are indigenous to Nigeria?
So that broadcast is sending a message out to all of them to come into Nigeria, because they need that 40 million number, right? So they want to bring everybody. What country does that? But guys, watch the Lebanon video. We have a Fulani man as president of Nigeria. We've got tons of them as governors. We've got tons of them in positions of power.
Yeah, everywhere.
And they're invading our land, and our people are slumbering. This is an invasion that has partnered up with jihadists. And so we face two existential threats. This is not about Christians and moderate Muslims. It is not. This is about Christians, moderate Muslims, the other indigenous, against the invading Fulani and their partners, Boko Haram, ISIS, ISWAP, etc. That's what this is about. And it should be clear to all of us. Again, we're not just talking about it. For today, what are you supposed to do? Get on Twitter. Share this video to all of your contacts. Okay, share this video to all of your contacts. Share this program so that they can hear and understand. Okay, any segment of this video, it doesn't matter if they watch the first 10 minutes, the next 10 minutes, etc. will give you valuable information that we need to educate indigenous Nigerians on. So we all must do our part, because it is in unity that we gain our freedom. Again, I'm going to thank everyone that that has been watching, and I'm going to thank those that are on who are watching live, because we're live streaming on YouTube, and they had a lot of great comments. And one of the comments that they made, it pretty much just said, we need to put our heads together to find out 100,000,001 ways to stop this evil that's going on against the indigenous Nigerians. And that's what everybody needs to do. But please, everyone, you need to get a Twitter handle, because there is power in getting our message out. We need to educate our people, not just in the diaspora. And I am shocked that that has to be done, but it does. We also need to reach those on the ground. So 2 lessons from Animal Farm in Nigeria. Cows are more equal than humans in the New South, including the indigenous Nigerians in the North. The far North is more equal than other places in Nigeria, and they have inherited the leadership. You saw those headlines when we flashed them. They have inherited the leadership. Again, let's be clear on the distinction. We're not talking about northern indigenous Nigerians. We're talking about Fulani occupying northern Nigeria, making the statements. They have the numbers, they say. And so we'll hold on to the presidency. They keep saying, this is the Northern Elders, that the presidency is not negotiable. Doesn't matter what you do. We're keeping our hand on the presidency. What's giving them that confidence? The Constitution. And so everyone must get behind the NINAS plan to end that 1999 Constitution that was started when we had the constitutional force majeure, December 16th of 2020, to stop all elections under this 1999 Constitution. And the next general election coming up is 2023. Everyone needs to get up. And Afenifere has already thrown down the gauntlet. We've seen the videos where we had some people that were trying to campaign in Lagos and they were chased away. Every single indigenous person in the Alliance territory must chase away any political activity towards the 2023 election, period. Because that's what upholds this Constitution, that upholds this reality in Nigeria, that cows and some non-indigenous Nigerians are more equal than others. So thank you all very much for joining us today. And please, we're simply asking you to take action. Sign the referendum, the demand for the referendum. Share this information broadly. Get people to share the referendum. Get them to become active when we have the marches. We need a show of force from the people, because it is people that take down apartheid. It's people that take down constitutions.
If I want to ask one or just 2 questions, Gina, thank you so much for what you're doing, what NINAS is doing. And a lot of people are interested in actionable plans to be executed. I know the referendum is going around for signatures and all that. So I'd like to know, where are we on that? Because I know that there's another signature requirement, another one that is being passed around. Somebody was asking for removal of Buhari, and that one, the government, they took it down, but now it's back on air and people are signing it. So I'd like to know 2 things. Where are we on that referendum? What number are we looking at? Then secondly, what other plan? I know we have to send out the message to people, but people are looking for, what do they need to do? I know this guy that was Obadiah in Benue State, before he died, he was trying to organize something whereby something like on a Monday, all Christians in Nigeria will sit at home, kind of a civil thing that will cut around. NINAS is a general, the body cuts across the whole country. So what do we need to do? I mean, it's okay to talk and all that. What are the plans, executable plans that has to happen that, we can tell people to start doing? Because,
well, one of the things, and that's kind of what I talked about earlier, thanks for that question. One of the things I talked about, as we were rounding up, is the fact that that petition is very important, because we need millions of people. We have millions in the Alliance territory. We need millions of people to sign on to that, because again, it's numbers that count, okay? We need to show that we are serious about this. And that means we have to reach the ground zero. We have to reach our people in Nigeria at ground zero. So everyone, doesn't matter where you're from the middle belt to the south, you need to be sharing this information. You need to sign yourself, and then you need to share and help others to sign. The petition is set up in such a way that you can put in your information, but you can also put in, like your sister who doesn't have access to a way to do that, your brother, your mom, your grandmom, you need to talk to them about it and get that and get them to share it. Secondly, the 2023 election is heating up. We need to let people understand that 2023 election is going to keep the 1999 Constitution in place, which is what is causing the insecurity. It is causing the starvation. It is causing the Fulani herdsmen ongoing nonstop attacks. It's causing the banditry, the kidnapping, the raping, the maiming, the destruction of farms. It's that 1999 Constitution. And the election, the 2023 election, is going to keep it in place. So we need to help them understand what they need to do to say no 2023 election, to tell their governors, their elected officials, no, we are the people that have put you in place. You're our managers. And we're telling you to close shop, shut it down. Okay, let's have a transition government to allow the people to vote, which is their right. Okay, so we need to have them sign the petition, get others to sign the petition. They need to work with their elected officials, telling them to shut down the 2023 election so that we can go to referendum. Those are really clear things. And then, of course, it's messaging, mobilization. It's so important. So everyone is a mobilizer. Every organization is a mobilizer. Okay. So there are more things that we want people to do, like get on Twitter so that they can do the mobilization. We also want them to get on Twitter so that we can keep the West abreast of the real narrative. Nigeria has lots of ambassadors. They're not provided, they don't have the real narratives. So we need to make sure, our people need to make sure that the real narrative is going out on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, right? On the WhatsApp platform so that other people can send it out. These are practical things that we must do. We need to contact the news agencies around the world so they get the real narrative. We need to drive the narrative, and that's all of us, okay? So these are really critical things that we as a people must do. And then when we have these marches, come out for the marches. And if you can't come out, sponsor somebody else to come out for these marches, because it is important for the world to understand what's going on. Okay, we've talked about engagement with the lawmakers, not just in the US. It doesn't matter where you are. Engage your lawmakers and let them understand what's going on in Nigeria. Let them know that this is not herder-farmer conflict. This is a genocide that's going on. This is apartheid. This is jihadist. This is all combined, and so the people are facing existential threats from multiple places. So there's a lot for us as a people to do. And all of us that are here and keep coming to these programs where we share the information, it's our responsibility to make the plans to reach as many people as we can. Every single day, you must reach an additional person or 2 or 10 or 100. That's the way we win. That's the only way we win. Taking back people power. Okay, so thank you all very much again. I've really enjoyed all the conversation today. Next week, we'll talk a little bit more about being more equal than others. And we'll look at some of the numbers from different areas in Nigeria to see who is in charge, who is on top. When they are recruiting for the military, who are being recruited? That and more we'll be talking about next week, so our people will get a better understanding of what's going on so that they can rise up and actually activate their power. So thank you all very much. Really appreciate everyone that has contributed today. And we're going to continue this kind of dialoguing conversation. And of course, if people have questions, we invite everyone to kind of participate in these discussions, because we need the different perspectives. Even if you have an opposing perspective, we're not going to shut you down on this program. We'll let you have your say, and then we will address it with dignity. So again, this is Freedom from Nigeria, talking about the NINAS constitutional force majeure freedom plan that we all must get behind. So everyone have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week, same time, with more topics.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you all.